right, so we are about 8 o'clock, so we are going to actually transition to the next section, which is a super, super popular topic. We're going to talk about networking. All right, this is a huge, huge deal that you run into with streaming. It's super important. There's so much that goes into effective networking. You have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have Discord, and you have hosting. Those are the 4 main topics that I want to get into with networking that I think are super important. I think that they have a huge, huge impact on your stream and your progress. When I first started streaming, I never used Twitter, not once, never. And I made a Twitter. And it is so big. Just make a Twitter if you don't have one. Even if you have one, you've never posted on it, spend 10 minutes one day and just pick something you like. League of Legends. Okay? Now you like them, and then it's going to give you suggested people to follow based on that. You're going to get EA Sports. You're going to get pro league players. You're going to get, pro league streamers. You're going to get, YouTubers, all this stuff. And before you know it, you're going to start following more and more people. And eventually you're going to get, I'm about, I think, like 200 to 500 people that I'm following, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but, you want to follow things that are interesting to you. Right. Computer companies, program companies, just anything that you like. And then retweet things that they post that are interesting to you. You're going to start creating content on your Twitter that's interesting. And then the biggest thing that I recommend, always tweet that you're going live, even if you only have 1 follower. Tweet that you're going live a half hour before you go on stream or an hour before you go on stream. I've been bad about it lately, but tweet before you go live. You're hosting someone ahead of time. Hey, stop by early and go say hi to this person in the meantime. That's why I love, even if it's a 0 host, before I go live, I post on Twitter and then I go on my stream and I find one of my friends that are already streaming and I host them and I say, hey, stop by early and go visit this person. It's a half-hour host, but anyone that shows up early for your stream is going to see them there. And then when you're done streaming, say thank you to your hosts. Say thank you to the people that donated to you. Say thank you to the people that subscribed to you. Say thank you and tell, hey, enjoy the person that I'm hosting for the rest of the night. Huge.
A little bit goes a long way.
Super true. Another thing that we want to talk about when we're mentioning tweeting out who you host. Hosting is so big. I never used to be big on hosting. And once I started to get into hosting, it made such a big improvement because hosting is how you're going to meet people. Hosting is how you build relationships with other streamers. The best way to grow as a streamer is to grow with other streamers. That's the way I put it. You're growing with others. You're growing together as streamers. I met Biff because I hosted him. I forget what it was. I think it was Twitch Kittens maybe. And I found him.
I was probably streaming under the Twitch Kittens at the time.
And I think the biggest thing is when you host somebody, you want to make sure that you spend time in their stream afterwards. Don't just host them and say goodbye and then leave. You want to actually talk to them about, say hi, what are you up to? Conversate with them a little bit. You want to get to know them. You don't want to just host them and walk away and not make an impression on the person.
Right, exactly. And I mean, that comes back down to make sure you're hosting somebody that you actually enjoy. Take a second to check out their stream and see if it's something that you want to reflect your community. If it's, if you're playing League of Legends or whatever that day, and then you go into, I don't know, CSGO, are your viewers going to hang out for that? Or are you just doing a host just to do a host to try to get some credit with someone else? So, I mean, yeah, be a little selfish, but also be considerate towards your viewers as well. I feel like your viewers, if they enjoy that content, you're going to help solidify yourself as a community with that new person as well. But if, your host ends up being available to them for 5 minutes and then their number drops right back down, they're going to be like, oh, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, definitely wanting to find something hey, is there something you guys want to watch? Do you want to watch a specific game? Is there something you want to see? If they have suggestions on somebody who they think you should host, check it out. You know what I mean? It's all about meeting, when you host somebody and you make that new friend, yes, the idea is I'm going to host you. here's my viewers. I want to get to know you. Maybe some of my viewers are going to stick with you. I'm sharing my community with you. And then hopefully they're going to do the same thing back. And before you know it, you're going to build a relationship with this person. And then all of a sudden, you're supporting their community and they're supporting your community. And then it goes back to the growing together thing, which is huge. It helps you grow as a streamer, and it's important. So, what do we have?
I absolutely agree. That's perfect.
And then another thing that people don't think about is auto hosting. Now, once you join a stream team, it will auto host people from that team. If you are not on a stream team, I highly recommend adding people to your auto host list. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to make it so when you're offline, it will automatically host somebody on that stream, on your list of auto hosts when they go live. It'll go in order, so don't do like Monster Cat because they're live 24/7. You'll never host anybody else. But you know, you want to make sure that you're getting in there. You can see who's hosting you on your dashboard. You can see who's currently hosting you and who auto hosts you, which is pretty good. But yeah, you definitely want to add those people that, you know, people that influence you and that are good friends with you and who you support. You definitely want to make sure that you keep them on your auto host list, because people lurk in your channels, people AFK in your channels. You know, if someone stops by, you want to make sure that something's playing there that's interesting that could potentially help somebody else out or catch somebody else's eye.
Yeah, I mean, I just right before we started, I hosted the channel because obviously I'm in here and we're big supporters of you over at our channel as well. And I mean, I had, I think, a host for like 5 or 6 left over from last night that are just lurking. So they might come back to their computer and go, oh, hey, what's Biff doing over here? And then they come over here and hit the follow button, and now they're following Sarah. So I mean, it all comes back. I mean, I'm a big believer that not so much life. I think life is BS as far as karma is concerned, but Twitch is absolutely karma for sure. Anything you do is going to eventually come back to you. And it has absolutely done that for both me and Sarah, at least tenfold from what we've done for other channels. And networking properly is the one of the biggest things. And I know we're going to get into that, into the do's and don'ts section. So I'm only going to kind of dabble into that. But making sure there's ways to make proper impressions, and hosting, auto hosting, and talking with people about what they have going on is one of the biggest ways you can do it. And it's going to come back to you regardless, whether you're a streamer or a viewer. You know, I had 3 or 4 gifted subs last night on my channel because, you know, either someone couldn't afford it at the time, but they wanted to support it. So one of my other, you know, it's, again, it all comes back to community and building the proper etiquette with your viewers and other streamers.
Super true, super true. And then, you know, that goes back into, you know, when he says doing it properly, hosting properly, you don't want to just go in there and, like, you know, host and leave. You know, if you want your community to stay, you need to make sure they see you conversating too. Like, you want to make sure that you're like providing interest in what's going on. You know, you want to make sure that they see that what you're doing is actually interesting and that you engage and that you care. And again, you know, people want to support who you support. Your mods will almost always follow somebody that you follow, or you say, hey, you should check this person out, they're really cool. Then people trust your opinion. You know what I mean? It's really huge. One of your streamer friends comes into your chat, make a shout out command. Please, please, please. If you don't have a shout out command, make a shout out command. It means so much. It's so little, but it's so easy to just shout out someone when they stop in your stream. Be like, hey, dude, this person's really awesome. You guys should shout them out. Because what if you don't stream at the same time? I have friends who I'm really close with who don't stream. They stream in the beginning of the day, and I can't host them ever. So when they come on my stream, I'm going to shout them out, be like, hey, I can't host you, but hey, please stop by this person's stream. They're super awesome, and I think it's super helpful. And it's just, it makes a big difference. But another,
absolutely.
I think another thing you need to consider, though, is effective hosting. So if you have 25, 35 viewers, is about probably an average. I think 25 to like 45 is where Biff and I usually sit, you know, really good days, medium days, whatever. So you don't want to host someone with 1,000 viewers with 25 viewers. I'm not saying that don't support your favorite streamer, but it's not going to be a big deal to them. Now, this is going to get into the selfish side. you want your hosts to be effective. The whole point of hosting is networking. Yes, you're supporting other people, but if you're gonna host someone where your view is like 1/10 of their, like your view count is 1/10, it doesn't make that big of a difference to them, let alone they might not even care, especially if they don't know you. If you host someone that has like, I think a safe threshold is like double to 3 times your viewers, so you're at least giving them a quarter of their viewers. I think that's usually a safe point where it's positively affecting their stream in a noticeable manner. It's going to move them up quite a bit on the list. It's making an impression on their stream. I think that's important. Yes, by all means. I love hosting small streamers. I'm still a small streamer, but it's really fun to go back and find someone who has like a couple of viewers, someone you know, someone you don't know. By all means, go for it. But I'm just saying I'm a little bit cautious in terms of the effectiveness of hosting someone that has a bunch of viewers, because it's a lot less likely that they're super appreciative of it and they're going to come back and host you eventually. And yes, it's selfish, but it's true though. It's the general goal of hosting is to build friendships with people and to help both of your communities grow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you go host Dr. Disrespect, he's not going to give a shit. Like, IRL streamer, bigger IRL streamers might like just say, hey, thanks. But yeah, again, like Sarah said, they're probably not going to come check you out if we're being honest. There are smaller partnered streamers out there that have like only 50, 60, 70 viewers. And they'll probably stop out because they're still cool with their communities and stuff. They don't have the 3, 4, 5,000 viewers or 180,000, whatever. So yeah, I mean, definitely it's a tactical move, just like Sarah said. So I mean, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, twice to 2/3 of what you've got, and you send that over, they're gonna absolutely love that.
So setting up commands for networking, and so you're talking about like a command. Okay, so someone shouts out, someone says something in the channel, it automatically shouts them out. I mean, that's cool if it's someone that you want to do a shout out command. I personally would hope that people follow a shout out command. If someone shouts somebody out in a channel that I'm watching, I'll usually go check them out. I definitely think that's important. But I don't know.
I
I
always
think
yell at my chat. I go tell them to go do it. I pause the game and I go, yeah, no, you guys need to go do this right now, or you're making mistakes. So we make sure you go do it.
All right, so we're gonna kind of weave in some of these questions before we get into talking about Facebook and Facebook, Discord, and social groups. How do you get past a certain viewer threshold? I feel like I've been stuck at 10 to 15 viewer average for a very long time. I'm pretty active with networking, but I seem to be swapping out regulars.
Yep, and that will definitely happen. I've swapped out plenty of regulars in even the small amount of time that I've been streaming with a consistent schedule. I've gone from, like, I can probably tell you all their names too. I won't, but I mean, I'm still small enough to where I recognize every name that comes into my chat. And on top of that, yeah, you're gonna swap out regulars, but the big thing is maybe even off stream, if you're comfortable doing it, ask them what you can do to keep them around. Like I said, I have stream legends or whatever the hell that thing's called in my info panels, so someone had a game to play while they were hanging out. So find out what is turning them on about your channel, find out what's turning them off about your channel. And the biggest thing is going to ask your viewers. There's no real answer for that because everyone's different, so take the time and ask your viewers, be like, hey guys, what do you think I can do to make your experience here and your stay here in my channel better? And then obviously don't take what they say as gospel, but maybe change some stuff up if you can. And then on top of that, don't get frustrated if something that you changed has not affected your channel in a week. These changes can take months to take effect.
Super
and
true.
do not get frustrated with that. This is a patience game. This is a waiting game. This is a game of making sure that your community respects what you do and that they trust you enough to be able to do this. So
Absolutely.
again, this stuff takes time. Time. I cannot stress that enough. This takes time.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I did, going along with what he said, if you're not comfortable actually asking them, make a suggestions channel in your Discord. I'm like, hey, any suggestions on something I can do to improve my stream? Post it here, guys. And then, you know, they may or may not like say anything, but you know, it's just a good way to go. And you need, if you're having a hard time growing, you want to make sure you're keeping those people around. Being interactive is huge. That's why people like smaller streamers, is because they feel like they have a better chance of getting interaction from people. So if you're going out of your way to make sure you're addressing everybody that walks in this channel, say hi, hey, someone does that little first time wave thing, say hello to them. Like, they're obviously saying hi or their first time here, and make sure you like give them recognition for following, you know. And you want to make sure that your longtime followers know that it's still something that you're interested in. So but yeah, I mean, it does take time. I mean, you hear people say that, you know, you hit these phases where you're gonna gain new people, then some of them are gonna leave, and then your regulars are gonna stay, and then eventually it's gonna keep happening, and you know you're gain and lose people, but then eventually you're gonna gain more regulars, and that number's gonna keep going up, and it's just a slow process of where you're gonna go up a clump of numbers, and then go up a clump of numbers.
Yep, absolutely agree. Big thing is too is get your chat interactive with new people. I've found that I encourage my viewers to say hi to new people, especially if I know they're new. If I've never seen that name, I go, hey everyone, welcome, I don't know, Blue Butt 68 to the channel. That's their first time here, and then everyone will say hi to them, and they feel more welcome because chat knows that they're new too. So now they're making new friends inside your community as well, and that's really helpful.
Absolutely. Is it possible to network too much to the point where it negatively affects yourself? I think the only line where that's going to happen is if you're spamming in the same thing. Now, there's no limit to how much you can network. You could join every single community that you want to. You could post on every single channel that you want to. But the only thing to consider is the more communities you're in, it's harder to be active in every single community. Now, the more active you are in a single community is going to make it easier to have that networking be beneficial, because you could either just have like 20 different pages that you post your stream and hope that somebody stops by, or you can, you know, have like one or two that you do a really good job of like talking to everybody in, and then, you know, you're gonna get a different chunk of people that are gonna actually, you know, respond to that. So it's just kind of a matter.
Yeah, there's a good way about going about it, and there's a bad way about going about it. And if you feel like, think at the end of the day, think to yourself, is this something I would want to see every day, or is this getting annoying? Would this be annoying to me? If it's going to be annoying to you, it's most definitely annoying to somebody that you barely know. So yeah, yeah, just watch how you go about doing it. And the other thing is too, I can tell you, don't be up somebody's ass. You know, don't take up if you're networking and stuff, I get it, but you know, the big thing is you want to be in their chat and just kind of just be there. Don't at tag them every time, or I don't know, what are some of your pet peeves there, Sarah, that you get like sometimes in chat? And I know this is your community and I get it, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm sure there's little things that you're like, oh, are you really doing this again? And I know you say something because you're not bashful about it, but what are some of your things that you're like that kind of just irk you or are cringy?
Do you mean like in terms of like networking
Yeah,
forums, or
like if
just
someone new comes into your channel and they, you know, you obviously, because you can tell who wants to network and you can tell who is just like here to hang out. So I mean, like, where do you draw the line where you're like, okay, this guy is just trying to ride the coattails, or this guy, okay, is actually trying to be cool? Like, you know, what's your cringy line there?
My cringy line is going to be, you need to know where that smooth line is between like advertising yourself and actually being helpful. If you just hosted me, talk about your stream all you want. You just brought your viewers to me. You're bringing your community. That's cool. Don't come into my stream and tell me you're about to start your stream. I'm sorry. Don't come into my stream and tell me you're about to start your stream. Don't tell me that you want me to host you. Like, I would love it if you're my friend and I have you followed. There's a good chance I'm gonna host you eventually. Like, I phase through looking through my community, looking through the game that I'm playing, and looking through my friends that I'm following. But don't ask me to host you. Don't ask any other streamer to host you. because 98% of them are gonna really, really not like it if you ask them to host you, and they're not gonna like it if you talk about your stream. Now, there's a difference between asking questions about streaming. That's cool. If it's obviously known, that's what made me start this seminar, is people would ask me about bot things, trying to get like, hey, when I was trying to stream the other day, I was trying to do this and it wasn't working. That's cool. But don't be like, hey, like, hopefully this new works. I'm about to go start my stream though. Like, there's a difference between like, hey, I'm so glad that you helped me out with that. Like, I'm about to test it out when I'm streaming, you know, like you were helping me with this or something. Like, be tasteful about it. Don't just go in someone's stream and be like, okay, I'm gonna go stream now. Bye.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I still see, and that's where you and I differ a little bit. I'm like, don't even talk about, unless I ask you about it in my channel when you're in there, or like whisper me. Okay. Don't post that shit in chat, because that's rude to me, anyways. Like, there's whisper for a reason. You can whisper me. I'm literally right in front of my computer. I can check this stuff right now. My bot, and I'm sorry, the gospel I know is Stream Elements, but I use Streamlabs chat bot, and it posts my whispers right inside my chat, and it highlights it so I know that it's a whisper. So I won't read it out loud. But if you're going to ask something, just ask it in a whisper. And then if I want to acknowledge it, I will talk to you about it. You know, it's different, especially if you're a new person. I'm all about helping people out. I really am, because if there weren't people out there who helped me, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I'm all about helping people out, and that's cool. It's all about tact, and it's all about class, and there's certain ways to do it. And I get that through text and typing, context gets lost. I understand, but a whisper speaks so much more volumes than throwing something in chat. You know, I know you want to talk to this person. You can whisper anyone at any time, as long as they don't. And if they, you know, say, hey, I whispered you, you know, and then they can, because you can actually turn off. So if people don't follow you, you don't get whispers from them. But that is fine. Just say, hey, dude, I sent you a whisper real quick. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. No problem.
Yeah.
It's little things like that to think about that go a long way with this networking thing.
Because no streamers want you. It is about growing with each other, but what benefit besides possibly getting, like, you want to network and advertise you're about to go live, but don't post it in somebody else's chat, because they're gonna get upset, because that's saying, oh, well, then maybe I should go click their stream. And yes, you want people to click your stream, but you don't want someone who's watching another stream to have to go click your stream, because then you're taking away focus from them. It's gonna piss the streamer off. Like, that's like just like such a good rule of thumb that we can talk about more in the do's and don'ts, because I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's just a big
we could
thing.
go into this for a long time. Like, I mean, I'm gonna say right now, the way my etiquette is in Twitch, I feel bad even talking about my channel right now, because we're in ohhellosara's channel.
But that's different, though.
I know, but I'm just saying that's how I am, and that's how I'll always be, because I feel like it's rude as shit.
It's like, you have a shout out command for that. Like, literally, if you're a caster, like, that's why I say add in a shout out command, because that allows you to help other streamers that you care about get advertisement in your stream, and it's helpful and it's tasteful, because the caster is the one that's doing it for you, as opposed to you trying to get your advertisement out in their stream, which is rude. It's not classy. So, but before we dive into that for forever, a couple more things I want to get into. Difference in hosting and rating. Kind of a short and simple question. Hosting is going to basically take your channel, and it is going to once you finish streaming, it's going to switch from your video over to the new streamer's video. Therefore, it's going to add to their view count, but they do not appear in the actual, like, people who are in chat, because they are not in chat, they're watching the video. Now, an actual raid is going to take everybody from www.ohhellosara.com or twitch.ohhellosara, or whatever, you know what I mean. And it's going to switch them to the webpage of twitch.tv/hellobiff. It actually moves them into the chat. So now they're a viewer and they're in chat, so they're more active. So essentially, you want to host somebody over raiding. Much better. Building a community, should you kick bots? Users such as Electrical Skateboard, I don't think it makes a difference. I think
it really doesn't make a difference.
I think it's just a Twitch bot.
Yeah, just leave them in there. It's fine. They're not going to do anything. It's not like it's attached to any malicious anything. A lot of people say, oh yeah, ban them, blah, 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 get them out of there. it's not going to do anything. They even banned users can still view your channel. There's no way to actually shut your video off to any specific user.
Did I say that wrong? Maybe I did. You want to raid. I mean, you could do both. You raid somebody and then once you're in their channel, then you host them. Always raid.
Yeah, raid is always going to be the best way to do it. Absolutely.
I may have said that wrong. I'm sorry. Yes, hydration bot is pretty cool. Hydration bot is pretty cool. Drinking reminds you to drink your water, but I'm pretty keen on that one. So keeping it as quickly as we can since we're almost out of time on this topic. Facebook and Discord, essentially pairing up with getting into other social networking communities. So Facebook, you have a lot of potential. Now, I personally don't like spending time scrolling through different communities. I have a hard enough time participating in my own Discord because I try and stay off the computer during the day as much as possible. But Facebook groups are going to be just like Discord communities, are going to be just like whatever kind of community you get involved in. It's going to be how much effort do you want to put into the community. So you could either join a whole bunch and just hope that you're kind of trickling here and there, like I'm posting when I go live. Facebook, in my opinion, is a lot less actual integration because there's not really a chat discussion. It's just a post and comments. So I feel like you kind of lose the straight up one-on-one. So if you're going to put effort into something, I highly recommend Discord over Facebook. There are a lot of really, really good Facebook groups that you can get into. Like I'm in a Twitch Kittens one. I'm in one for Banks. I'm in one for Ohio streamers. There's just a whole bunch of different stuff that you can look into that you can find that are helpful. But I don't recommend, I just posted them live on there. Every once in a while, if I'm bored, I'll scroll through to see who's live. I can't really say how much return I get off of it. I get more return off of participating in communities themselves. Occasionally I'll get something, but again, a Discord group is going to have a page that says who's live. People are either going to look at it or they're not. You're going to get the same people that are scrolling through Facebook to look to see if someone's live or not. It's kind of hard to like really draw that line of what's going to be good or not. Again, it's going to be the participating in the communities where you're going to see that return that's stronger, in my opinion.
Exactly. And it's all about how you advertise it too. You know, I mean, just putting stagnant words, people are going to be like, oh, okay, cool. They posted again. Whereas if you put like a crazy picture or a GIF or, you know, a quick video, stuff like that. Like every time I go live, I've got a Facebook page for my Twitch. I don't even use the damn thing because everyone that I connect with is already friends with me on Facebook. I'll record seriously a 60-second video and say, hey, everyone, you know, twitch.tv/hellobiff. We're about to go live at blah, blah, blah time. And I'll tag everyone. I'll do some of my crazy effects to get people excited about it. And then, you know, however long, and that's usually about 10 minutes right before I go live, just so it's super fresh in everyone's mind. And that's how I do it on Facebook. I personally have not had a lot of success with Facebook groups. Mine is more Twitter, my stream team itself, and Discord, and that's pretty much
it. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. I agree with that. I definitely think that it is a good idea to, you know, keep in mind that you're going to get the return that you put into it, you know. And again, Facebook as well as Discord posts, like I said before, it's going to be people that are going to be scrolling and looking for that. If they're not going to be looking, they're not going to be looking. Twitch streamers do suggest they make accounts for their Twitch persona. I personally use my own personal Facebook to post that I go live, but again, the groups are private anyways, so people that are like, if I don't want them to see it, it doesn't matter. I don't really think that it makes too big of a deal to make a Facebook page. I think if you're going to invest in making some sort of Twitch persona, it's going to be Twitter. I cannot express how much positive networking comes from Twitter out of anything else because you can connect with other people. I follow every single person that I host on Twitter. I shout them out when I host them, and you're building a network, and it's great. And I think that's super, super important. If I had to stress anything out of all of the topics, it's going to be Twitter and Discord. Because Discord, you're going to meet the people that you need to meet that matter to you. And you're going to find that one or two communities that are really, really important to you. Yes, you're going to have your friends, but you want to find a community or two that stand out to you that you want to put your effort into. And that's how I think it's the most beneficial out of anything.